Good morning, guys. Dr. M here from London's Harley Street Pinnacle Practice, working in association with my colleague over in Ireland, Dr. Niall Mack, and the team at Book Hub Publishing. They're over in Galway, so we've been doing some fantastic work on an exciting project, which is publishing a new book of mine, which is Batshit Not So Crazy, Removing Anxiety in 7 Steps. So I wanted to do a quick video today because I get asked lots of questions, and on the point of awareness and how that can actually help anxiety is really important because well, first of all, I'll give you the example again of the Harvard case study, where this is how an awareness of something really affects us physically. So they took 84 housemaids who all believed they were overweight, high cholesterol, just generally unfit. So they split these 84 people, the housemaids, into 2 groups. One group were left as normal to carry on, believing that they didn't do enough daily exercise and they got the high cholesterol and generally unfit, slightly overweight, etc. And the other group, they were actually informed that actually you do enough exercise to meet your daily criteria. Now, in several weeks' time, they then took some results and statistics again. Interestingly, the group that were aware, the informed group that were told actually you do enough exercise, miraculously were found to have lost weight, their cholesterol improved, and generally they felt more fit. And that's just being aware of actually meeting their target and meeting the daily recommended exercise. So therefore they physically responded to that. There are also lots of other scientific experiments done that prove that how what we believe, what we think, what's going on in our mind affects us physically. Now, in terms of helping reduce anxiety, that can also help in terms of the coronavirus at the minute, in terms of what you're actually aware of, not being engrossed in the news, not having everything negative suggested to you. So, for example, if the government suddenly said, actually, coronavirus was a bit of a hoax, it's not really real, doesn't really exist, it's probably amazing how your anxieties would suddenly lift. Whether it's the case or not the case, doesn't matter, is what your mind is aware of, you're responding to, because you don't actually know if coronavirus really does exist. You only know what you've been fed by the media, the news, etc. So for all we know, it could be a hoax, we don't know. But the point I'm actually making, and that's not a conspiracy theory, by the way, the point I'm making is that it's what you're aware of, you will respond to. So going on the topic of anxiety, every single person I've seen with bad anxiety that's had it for a lifetime have had this suggested to them, or by even clinicians, that they need to be on a lifetime of medication, that you just need to accept that you're an anxious person. Well, that's actually not true at all. And I have tons of proof of that in terms of people I've worked with. Hence, I do a good job of what I do, and people become anxiety free, they become off medication, and they go and live absolutely phenomenal lives by the time we've done the work. And that's always applied from my 7-step process, which later on you'll also be able to apply in a program of doing it over 7 days. But the point again is that it's absolutely possible, and it's about different thinking for different results. So what you may have been suggested to, from being a young child, that you're an anxious person, that you have to take pills to control it, that's the way life is, that's absolute rubbish. Because once you get to the root and you do the work that I do, and you work with me on something like that, you can be absolutely free. However, if you have been suggested that to you all your life, and this is not your fault at all, you will physically respond to that. So you will still feel anxious, and you will still have all these awful feelings until you start to think differently and actually deal with it in a different way, and change your thinking that it is possible to be completely anxiety free, despite what you may have been led to believe. So that's just my little message for today. It's really exciting. What we have coming out is the launch guide. So on the 1st of July, we have the ebook coming out as a small but very powerful guide of resources for you. And then on the 15th of July, we have the hard copy guide of that out. And then to follow, we'll have the bigger book, which is the Releasing Anxiety in 7 Steps in 7 Days program. But on the 1st of July, that's where you can put it all into action and start to that thinking differently for different results.